This was the most fun I've had on Call of Duty in a very long time. What's on, guys? J-Hoyd back with you. Today, welcome back to Modern Warfare 2. We are back here on Shipment 24/7. And I wanted to talk about something, right? We've talked so much about this game, how we like it, things that definitely can be improved, everything, throughout this game so far, we've talked about a lot of it. Well, ever since, I didn't get any gameplays on Shoot House, but ever since they added in Shipment, I have been having more fun on Shipment 24/7 and Shoot House 24/7. More than any other map on the game. Now, I don't know if it's just the fast-paced run and gun, get a bunch of kills, public match gameplay that you expect from one of those smaller maps, or it's just the rest of the game's just that bad that we get to here, right? So, with Shipment, right, it's had so many different iterations throughout the years, I couldn't even tell you. It's probably been, what, 5, 6, 7, something like that, different versions of Shipment of the same map. And we're still here, right? It's the same thing as Nuketown. It's the same thing as Shoot House. Like, they add these smaller maps in, and they're just fun. Like, they're fun to play, and especially given the maps in the game right now, I'd much rather be playing 24/7 anything on a decent map. Now, it's not even a good map. Like, realistically, Shipment, Nuketown, and what was the other one? Shoot House are not even good maps. Like, if you just, like I said, if you want crazy fast engagements, lots of gunfights, fast pace, level your level your weapon up. There we go. Like, this gun, I think I used like 1 or 2 games maybe before this game, and I leveled it up like 10 levels or something, like, if not like 15 or whatever it is at the end. Like, it was insane the amount of success I had with this gun that I've only used like once, and here we are. So here's the thing, right? What makes Shipment and Shoot House and Nuketown so good that people will absolutely, I don't even want to say grind, but like just use all of their time in this playlist alone, but they won't play other maps? Is it, like I said, is it the fast pace? Is it the gun, weapon level up system? Is it just, hey, let's just run around and do kind of whatever we want? Like, what is it about these maps? Like, what makes them so much fun? But then also, it kind of gives the message to the Call of Duty developers that, hey, we're not happy with the maps that you gave us in the actual game. So, like, if you could make some good ones, that would be great, right? We've talked about it, I think, 1,000 times at this point, that we need good maps in order for multiplayer to succeed. I think I saw a stat, I don't know if it was on Twitter or Instagram or YouTube, it was somewhere, but they said like 400,000 people played Modern Warfare like on launch or whatever. Maybe it had to have been more than that. Maybe it was 4 million, I don't remember now, but so many people played it right off the start, and then they took another poll like 2 weeks later, and like all the how many, what do you want to call it? The players, I guess, the live players dropped in half. And that's in half. That's not just by like a little bit, which is kind of expected. That's in half. Now, we could make this a whole separate video talking about Warzone and, was it, is it kind of, did it ruin multiplayer? Which, like, probably did, honestly. But it was so needed at the same time that multiplayer was getting very stale. But then also, they keep giving us bullcrap multiplayer games where they're not very good, and then we're left with this. And then we're left with the same maps, the same fast-paced game modes, the same, like, the same everything. And yet, we're here, right? And actually, I saw it. Where did I see it? It was a TikTok today. That's where I saw it. They were like, so this is the start of the first month or whatever where people are saying, like, the hype is over of the new game. And now it's, the last game was better. And then in a couple months, it's like we start thinking about the new game or something like that. But realistically, it's like, no. Like, I'm not in that cycle. But here's the thing. When we went from, I'd have to literally get the list of COD games in order. So here we are looking at the list of Call of Duty games. We'll start back in, like, where did competitive even start? I guess it kind of started at the beginning, but we'll start like ones that really got going in the like Modern Warfare 2, World at War area, where I didn't really play those games. Starting at Black Ops 1 is where I started playing Call of Duty. And that was in 2010. Okay, so I kept saying 2009, but I guess it's 2009, 2010. So there was that 2010/11. I don't remember. But Black Ops 1, didn't watch competitive all the way until, I think it was the end of Ghosts, where I started watching competitive. So I started with Ghosts. Okay, that's also when they switched from Xbox 360 to Xbox One, which was interesting. So Ghost was like, okay, but it was the Vector Fest. Advanced Warfare, everyone complained about the movement, but like that's usually because they couldn't, you know, they were just bad at movement. So okay, they kind of like dumbed it down a little bit for Black Ops 3, but then you had the wall running. People complained about that. Then Infinite Warfare, some people argue is the worst game of all time, but realistically, I didn't think that game was that bad. But I was also using a broken controller for the entire year, so that didn't help. World War II was just bad. I mean, the big like return to boots on the ground was just not very good. Black Ops 4 arguably might be top 3 COD for me of all time. But then, other than that, Modern Warfare in 2019, I think was a huge bust. Cold War, I think, was a huge bust. Vanguard was terrible. And this game, I think, is even worse. So, looking at that cycle, right, like I said, there's the hype for the new game, right, the new game comes out. And then usually, like, a month or two into it, people are like, I'm gonna go play some other stuff. Okay, no big deal, like, that's, you know, why there's so many games out there. But then we go like, okay, the last game was better. I don't think you can argue that this year. Like, honestly, even going back to Modern Warfare in 2019, out of the last 4 Call of Duties, that's been the best one. If you go back to the 5th one being Black Ops 4, ever since that game, Call of Duty went, like, plain and simple, not very good. But then, okay, you take out Black Ops 4, pick that out of the mix, you go back to World War II, which, like, was better, arguably, than the last 4 games, being Modern Warfare, Cold War, Vanguard, and now Modern Warfare 2, 2022, which is still stupid. Infinite Warfare could be hit or miss. And then Black Ops 3, Advanced Warfare. And then we're starting to get into, like, the nostalgia factor of Advanced Warfare, Ghost, Black Ops 2. You know, I didn't really play Modern Warfare 3, but then you got Black Ops 1, which is where I started. So, like, I haven't had big complaints with some of these games until the last 4 Call of Duties. Right, the last 4 years of playing video games with Ben, with some other friends, it's been a struggle. And when I keep seeing these 24/7 comes back, the Nuketown, the shipment, obviously not Nuketown this game, but the shipment, the shoot houses, I still can't believe that I would like playing the 24/7 mode on those 2 maps all day long rather than playing the rest of the maps in multiplayer. And that's saying a big something. Right? So when we're flying around this map, I'm having more fun going, I think the finals total is like 70 something and like 40 something. So it's not like an absolutely like crazy gameplay, but it's still like pretty good, right? I mean, 70 kills on shipment, you know, 6v6 is pretty darn good. if you ask me. Obviously, like I said, it's not 100 bound, which I'm still wanting to get. But we're going to need some score streaks for that and to play a little bit slower and more methodical. But I'd rather do that. And like, what else can we ask for or demand, if you will, in order to get better multiplayer, right? And we'll talk about it in a separate video. But Warzone arguably ruined multiplayer, which we'll go to more in depth in that video. But then also this year, they came out with this DMZ thing, and I'd love to talk more about that in another video. But I think it might be a huge flop. But we'll have to wait for the video. We'll explore it. We'll play a little bit. We'll see what's going on. And, you know, maybe we'll see if we can give some honest feedback. I did play it so far, and we'll have to give some honest thoughts later on. But I think I've talked a lot long enough. This was the most fun I've had on Call of Duty in a very long time. Especially given, you know, the launch of the new game, Modern Warfare 2. And given, you know, everything that we've experienced so far in the game, this is the most fun. I'd rather go 70 and whatever I go in this game than play the CDL maps. And that's sad.